from one nightmare to another. Arsenal 1-0 against Chelsea, and it's official, people. The London is red indeed. Not that you needed any clarification, but yeah, Arsenal winning 1-0, man. In what was a hard digest, I think, for some.
Dead game, bruv. I've just seen the highlights, bruv. Mate,
it was shocking.
First of all, the goal is just
world class. Whoa, be careful. Be careful what you do here.
Move, world class. I've seen
goal with world class. Luca Toni. Yes.
Oh, Peter, go Peter. Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, stop it.
Guys, that header, any striker worth their weight in goal would love to score a header like that.
Any goalkeeper worth their weight stands on their flipping line and catches it.
Listen, it's a great goal.
Crap goalkeeper. It was crap goal.
Sanchez.
It wasn't even in the corner of the goal. It was right in the middle of the flipping goal.
It wasn't in the middle of the goal. It was the far end. It was the far end. He had it across to the side.
Hey, Peter. Sanchez needs to come out. He just needs to leave the country. I'll accept the goal. I'll accept the goal, but yeah, the keeper, mate. Even the other one, there's one where Cucurella handballs he's pushed and he hits his whatever this part is called, and the ball's just. I'm like, what is going on here? The ball's just bouncing about all over the box, man. I'm just like, bruh. But seriously, guys, we can't score from open play. What's going on, man?
Listen, goal. We know what we are, David. We know exactly what we are.
Do you know what? Yeah, I shouldn't even take long. Just go to last week's pod, and it's just been some repeat, man. We got a great defense. We got the midfield. We know what we need.
Oh my days, Oscar! I've just watched the goal back. You're a disgrace. The header goes to the far post, posting in. Far post.
Peter,
it doesn't go post.
The header is exceptional.
It doesn't go posted in.
We've moved on.
Okay, go for it. Go look at it. Go watch it yourself. You told me to watch it back. I've done the due diligence. You go back and watch it.
It didn't go posted in.
This segment doesn't need to be long. Yeah. Arsenal next season. Did you see what's the Wembley postcode?
HAO.
We saw North Wheezy, bruv. Light it up, bruv. If he's not in Arsenal squad next, clean house. I don't want to hear no Sesko. The class is there. He spoke to Thierry after on CBS Paramount. Guys, that's an Arsenal striker right there. If we do not get this man, I'm fuming. I don't care who you bring in. If it's not Isak, I'm not accepting it, bro. I've had enough. Now is the time for the elite. We have elite in goal. We have elite in midfield. We have elite in defense. Please. Saka's going to come back. Hopefully they find a left winger, blah, blah, blah. Please, I need my number 9 next season.
I'll say this, mate. The referee was diabolical in that game as well. For both sides of the field. There should have been red cards, penalties, the lot. It was shocking.
Who was the referee? Wasn't it Chris Kavanagh or whatever his name
was?
It
was Chris Kavanagh.
What do you expect?
And VAR was Mr. Jared Gillett.
Oh. Yeah. I think in the spirit of it, like when I watched the highlights back, I felt like they kind of just did what they had to do to keep 11 men on both teams, because I think both teams could have had red cards. It was a bit stupid watching it. Obviously, when I'm in the ground, because I was quite low down, so I can't really see the action as well as you could from above. But it just looked like Arsenal players were just kicking the life out of my midfield. I was like, what the heck is going on? But then when I watched it back on TV, I was like, oh, okay, so it was 50-50. Like both teams were giving it. It was a London derby in the sense of the tackles that were flying in, at least. But if you guys will allow me for a second to speak on Chelsea Football Club, because what I saw on Sunday was nothing short of a disgrace. To think we're going...
How are you for?
First of all, yeah, how on earth Chelsea Football Club still remain in 4th place despite losing on the weekend and being horrible since December 26th? I keep saying this, guys. Whatever these guys had for Christmas dinner has turned us into one of the worst teams to watch in the Premier League. Haven't enjoyed Chelsea playing a single game in 2025. We've been absolutely horrible. And this week was no exception. Like, when you look at the team that's set up there, we have a number 9 who is a winger in Neto. We have Nkunku, whatever position you want to call him, he's not a left winger. I don't know, he could be a 10, he could be a 9, he could be an 8.5, he could be a 9.7. He's definitely not a left winger because he was mid. Yeah, Jadon Sancho, I've never seen someone more timid than that guy. But our best right back was playing at centre mid. Our best centre back was playing at right back. So how there was ever going to be a cohesive performance from this Chelsea team when you line up like that? Your fullbacks are not able to support your wingers. Your wingers on their own are terrified of the ball or any contact or giving the ball away. And then there was just a moment like throughout the first half, it felt like we were chasing shadows, couldn't get close to the ball. Every time we got the ball, 2 passes, it goes back to Arsenal. 2 passes, it goes back. And let's be clear, let's call a spade, guys. I don't mean disrespect when I say this. This Arsenal team right now is bang average. Bang average. You guys did not at any point impress me or the Arsenal fans in attendance. Yeah, there wasn't a moment in the game where you guys were like, "Oh, this is some silky play." No, Arsenal were average, and Chelsea just happened to be worse. Like, I was so disgusted by what these 2 London teams put on show. Peter called me after the game and said, "What did you think?" I said, "I can't believe there are people in the home end that paid upwards over £70 for that caliber of football," because it was a pathetic display from both teams. It was so bad. It was so bad. No action either end. Did Chelsea even have a shot on target?
You had one.
Right. From what I tried to even see. The one that went through Ryan's legs.
The one that went through Ray's hands, yeah.
I think he had a header in the second half as well. So we probably had 2 shots on target. That's
a header's not considered a shot on target, but I get your point.
Well, that's crap. All right.
That's a fun football fact. A header's not considered a shot on target or a shot. But yeah, go on.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's very, very dejecting for Chelsea. The only thing that you can say in Maresca's defense is that there is a lot of injuries, and you can assume that's why the shuffling took place. So the injuries to Lavia has meant he's barely played football. And that means you've got players like Reece in midfield. Palmer was out with a cold. Madueke out. Jackson out. So we had a lot of players missing. That meant we couldn't be at our full strength team. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but it's just, even when those players were in the side this year, we've seen nothing from Maresca and this team that makes you think, yeah, man, we can do something next season. I don't believe it, man. We'll be very lucky to get top 4 this year, guys. Very lucky.
I think, yeah, honestly, I don't know how you're 4th. I genuinely don't. Like, I know what you're saying about us. Like, this is why Arsenal, Oscar, me and David, we've been dejected since, January. Like, this is what we're being served. We're being served this all season, or not all season, but like this past couple of months. And we're going to have to grind for this because we've got no Saka, we've got no Jesus, we've got no Havertz. You know what I mean? We've been without Martinelli. So, it's been what it is kind of thing.
I just think I would be annoyed because I just feel like obviously you won the game, so you did what you had to do, but your ceiling is a lot higher than Chelsea's right now. This is a team that should be pushing Liverpool to the very last day at least for challenge for this title. When you look at the quality of the 2 teams, and it's sad because the last couple of times I've been to the Emirates, I've seen us get slapped 5-0. I've seen us get slapped 3-1. And both of those days, Arsenal weren't really out of second gear. You were just cruising to victory because it was just light work. And yesterday should have been light work, I think. But I don't know. It was just like
you're a much better side than those 2 previous encounters. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, like I kind of predicted. Yeah, I predicted like it might be a 2-2 draw because Arsenal Chelsea games always are a bit exciting at the Emirates. There's a lot of action going on. And this could have been one of those games if the referee did actually do his job. Because I think had we got like a penalty from the Cucurella handball, had we got a sending off from Partey and a sending off from Fofana, the game goes bonkers. The game's bonkers from there, and that's what I always expect.
I mean, a sending off from Fofana, you would a game that you won 1-0 would have been a game you won 3-0. It wouldn't have been a difference. I think even if you had 10 men, we would have struggled to beat you.
Possibly, but the truth is, we can't score goals. You know what I'm saying? We don't score goals from open play.
You're looking in the mirror.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
You're looking at guys. We're playing Neto up front.
Yeah, when
that's what I'm saying, because this club refused to sign a striker for 2 years running. They refused to sign a striker. I was on my knees last year, begging for a striker. Begging for a striker. They didn't go in the market and get one. They made a mockery of me. Then in the January, they made a mockery of me again by not getting one. Then in this summer that just went, they signed a 19-year-old called Mark Guiu, a guy not good enough for Barcelona's B team. That's who they signed as the striker.
Ain't that dessert in Lidl? Like that cheesecake?
Yeah, man.
Thing?
Yeah, you know the one. You know the one that costs £4 and is in a glass pot for no reason.
That with the hard base, the crunchy base kind of bit. Yeah, and the dessert on top.
The board said when Jackson is injured, this is who Chelsea will play up front, and now he's injured too. So we're going into games.
I do think you lot will sign Victor Osimhen in the summer. I think like that'll be done.
You cannot tell me about that signing Victor Osimhen in the summer when that's what I was told 2 summers ago. I'm sick and tired of that.
He's at Galatasaray right now. He's at Galatasaray right now.
Because if he's not at Chelsea next season, I'll be gobsmacked.
Guys, we have 10 games to try and salvage Champions League
10 games to go.
If Chelsea do not get Champions League football, we are in big trouble as a club. I don't think it's like of all the teams that are vying for Champions League, I think we are the team that it matters the most for. Because if you're Cole Palmer, if you're Enzo Fernandez, if you're Moises Caicedo, if you're any player that's thinking of going to Chelsea, why would you continue to make that move if this team's not in the Champions League? Why?
Really?
It's a good point. Oh.
Why?
It's a good point.
There is no reason. And fair enough, some of those players are culpable. Some of them, it's their fault why we're in this position in the first place. But at the end of the day, they might not be good enough now. But if we can't lose your best players, you can't just keep losing your best players and have a bunch of kids.